Hi, my name is Tracy Fullerton, and I am an assistant professor at the USC School of Cinematic Arts. I teach in the Interactive Media Division there, and I also am a co-director of the Electronic Arts Game Innovation Lab.
Tracy, this is not your first Cross Media Lab conference, is it?
No, it's my third, actually. I was here last year in Singapore and also in Melbourne.
What first attracted you to the idea of Cross Media Lab?
Well, I met Brendan through a friend who'd come to the lab before, and she highly recommended it, said there were going to be great people, and that Brendan was really going to put on an exciting event, and it was all true, so that's why I came back.
You as a mentor, you've been approached with several projects. You've been asked to evaluate. What were some of the most interesting projects you heard during the past 2 days?
A number of them were from Ministry of Education, so there are a number of projects that are being designed for curriculum, and those are all very interesting. I think there's some exciting challenges in how do you teach using games. These are things that are not just being faced here in Singapore, but obviously throughout the serious games community. Some of the ones that I loved, I have to admit, with student projects though. So there's a couple of student projects that I talked with today, and those I find equally exciting, not only because of the ideas, but because of the youth and energy that's behind them.
I suppose you also love games, so yes, so you got into this. Do you remember what was the very first game you played and what really,
Well, if you mean digital games, then I'm pretty old, so the very first digital game I played was Pong, and I loved it, and it completely changed the way that we used our television in our home, and I've been playing games pretty much ever since. Currently, I would have to say that the game that I wish I was playing right this second is Guitar Hero 2. In fact, I'm going to go also there. I love that game, and what I want for Christmas is a Wii, which I haven't got yet.
Okay, you heard that, Nintendo.
Please send me a Wii.
Do you actually play the guitar in real life, or?
No, I don't play the guitar.
But now do you want to learn how to play the guitar because of Guitar Hero 2?
I have a great respect for people who play guitar. A lot of people in my family are very musically inclined, and I just am not one of them. No, I'm not going to learn how to play guitar, but Guitar Hero makes me feel like I could if I wanted to. And that's a great feeling.
Well, we talked about serious games. Most people, when they hear games, they say, "Oh, that's frivolous stuff. It's just for kids." How are we doing in terms of changing the conception? The misconception.
Well, I think that one thing that's interesting is that games were not perceived as being just for kids until the invention of digital games. So prior to the invention of digital games, you have a sense that games are something that everyone participates in throughout culture. And there are some games that are still considered to be quite serious. I mean, obviously things like chess or Go are considered to be very serious strategy games, and something that people of all ages enjoy and play and learn from. So it's really only once you have the invention of digital games that you begin to sort of segment what games are for, and I think that's unfortunate. And I think that you're seeing a resurgence of interest in games for everyone.
Do you agree that everyone is a gamer and they just don't know it yet?
Well, I think that everyone plays. I think that play is a deep-seated human endeavor, and we may not play games, but I think that we certainly play, and we enjoy playing, being playful with one another. So if we're really able to design games for a wider segment of the population, I think you'll see that playfulness grow, and that sort of inherent communication that's there when people play together start to infuse more and more of the games that we're building.
When we talk about, as a last question, when we talk about using games for inside the classroom, is it better to design a game from the ground up for education, or could you just use off-the-shelf titles?
Well, there are obviously some games that people have used in the past to teach very successfully. Games like SimCity come to mind, for example, or games that or simulations of different aspects of history is another one that comes to mind. I think that for very specific subjects, you're probably going to have to design from the ground up, because even those games that have been used in classrooms are primarily for entertainment purposes. And so in order to fulfill some of the learning objectives, you really have to start from scratch and design games that, through their play, reinforce the learning objectives.
Thank you very much for your time.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.